Time for dual swords. Let's get back on 14. I want to finish that. Okay. It's just so unfair. Tisseline was always so cheery with the patients, telling them not to be scared, that there wouldn't be any pain. Of all the people in the world to suffer such a fate. I imagine you're just as shocked as the rest of us, so I appreciate what you're doing here. I don't have the words. Without a body, we can't even give her a proper burial, and she cared about that sort of thing, about giving people the chance to say their goodbyes. Sorry to interrupt. You realize we had to thank you for rescuing Halric. You didn't hurt at all, were you? I wasn't able to fight. I was too late, too slow, and I thought I could protect you. You can't blame yourself for things beyond your control. You brought Halric back safe and sound. No one could have done any more. I'm sorry, but I've come to a decision. I won't be continuing in my role here. I hope you will forgive me for leaving you, and that you will delay Halrich's last meal for as long as you possibly can. Not until it's too late, of course. Just give him what time you can. We always do. She would have done the same. Farewell, Halrich. Keep Celine's words close to your heart. I don't think he will. I think he's gone. Wait, you're leaving this very moment? I understand how you must feel, but surely this is a bit hasty? Do you even have anywhere to go? I have a destination in mind, yes, and a purpose. The stand light, building without cease, is the reason we can't save those corrupted by the Eaters. But what if we corrected the balance? Even if it were only little by little, even if it took years, it would surely make things better. Now hold on there. Everyone knows there's too much light, but how could you ever hope to get rid of it? You'd have to change the whole world. That's right. We should return to the Crystarium. I may not be able to repel the Eaters on my own, but I can still use the skills I have gained here to hurt them. Your swiftest Amaro, I need to return to the Crystarium immediately. As you wish. Remind me to wear goggles if we ever fly over Amarant again. I've barely gotten the sand out of my eyes. But the wind did help to clear my head at least. I think I'm ready to meet with the Exarch. We need to talk about how we're going to wipe the Sin Eaters out, shall we? Seems a bit optimistic, considering how much we know about them, or how little rather. Do you have any business with the Crystal XR? Just say the word and I would be happy to escort you to the Ocular. Thank you for seeking me out, Will. It means a lot to have you there at my side. I was tempted to set off again the moment that you had decided upon a direction, but you have still to visit Alphino, haven't you? And if I know my brother, he'll be on the cusp of discovering something vital to our success. If he hasn't already, I'm content to stay here and consider our options for the time being, but don't keep me waiting too long, eh? Let's see. Your face is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I could provide you with an Amaro for passage to Colusia. I'll pick you out with a friendly welt. That's right. Mouths like my great friend over there are a common sight in these parts. But I gather you hail from a further afield, more accustomed to chocobos, perchance. I hear there are quite a few places where they ride little else. Seeing as you're plainly unaccustomed to riding a Amaro, I think it best I accompany you on this flight by myself. Geez, my reading is not good today. Any Zun worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the Exarch sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at the Amaro launch. One of the junior tamers will attend to you while I'm ready to mount. The Amaro launch. You want to fly Amaro to Kaluza? Well, I suppose the Master Jirmai is going with you. Wait here, please. The Master should be along with the mounts shortly.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
Kalusia. Oh boy. Oh boy. We have arrived. This is the Cracked Shell Beach on the eastern coast of Kalusia. You should be safe here for the present. Compared to the mainland, Sin Eater attacks are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than elsewhere. It is the people you should be wary of. Spy you that city in the distance? That is Yulmore, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale, and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. For years, the Ulmoran elite have fancied themselves the masters of what remains of our broken worlds. They've gone as far as to offer the leaders of other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. But to say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. The Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we're not at war, our relationship with Yulmor is strained at best. It may be wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. I'm glad we understand each other. Now the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make your finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. If you head south along the coast, you'll eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of the Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Ivor. Ivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Kalusia, and will be able to point you in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme, that will let him know that you can be trusted. Here, this should be enough. Find your friend. I'll stay here with the Yamaru until you're ready to return. Ba 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 ba! Let's get this etherite. Hello, Ivor. What are you after? Fish? Crab? I think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you've a taste for them. Oh, I do have a bit of thyme. I do love a bit of thyme. Chucks them in the pan and it's like a bloody festival of flavor. Now, what is it I can do for you? Can't say as there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. Alphino, eh? I know the one. Our young champion of the downtrodden. Yulmor is richer than all of Norvron put together, but it's a different story for them as live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now, get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Stilltide. That's the fishing village just up the path there. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern the locals call the Leaky Keel. Wait there and I'll see that Alphino joins you. Etherite. Get that attunement. Look at this Wild West village. This Wild West ass village. Waiting for Alphino. Let's go. Ba ba ba. This your first time in a tavern? It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What will you be having? Water, please. A fine choice. And will you be paying with? Well now, those are exotic. Well now, those are exotic. Where did you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear. I don't doubt they have value. But I don't have a touchstone to test their purity. And I'm not about to go begging for one from the neighbors. So we'll just have to come to some other arrangement. Here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more of them than we have. What say you do a bit of extermination work? I want you to squash any vermin you find, then visit the caretaker and give them an earful from me for sleeping on the job. He'll be in the old silo next to the fence, snoring like as not. Do that for me and you can laze about here as long as you like. You hear a faint squeaking from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. What? Alright, fine. No one is home, and judging by the lack of furniture, they haven't been for some time. The gnawed scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. I'm gonna go hydrate. I'll be right back. Great. Lovely. Lovely. Welcome back, dear. What did that good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? He wasn't there. Gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. In Galetown. Outside Yulemore? You don't have a clue what I'm talking about, do you? And then here I was thinking you were another dreamer. Well, never mind all that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house. Here comes Alphino.
And how is business today, Mistress Ffxiv?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Tis good to see you, my friend.
Yes, it is.
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphino, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Ffxiv.
Oh wow, yeah, it has been a while, hasn't it?
It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. The time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
There you go. All's well that ends well. We thought we'd lost you.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding. But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before. I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure? And so we take to the road once more.
Oh no, it's time for politics. Assuming you have no objections, let us make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Yulmore, despite my best efforts to do so. Come, from here we must head west, and then cross a small bridge. I'm trying to, like, make it sound like them. Oh crap, I have side quests to do. Got 3 side quests, great. Of all the useless... You there, have you seen a timid mouse of a man cowering in a corner somewhere? I'm talking about my husband, clumsy, overcautious clod that he is. All I asked for was for him to bring some shellfish back for dinner, and he's been gone for bloody hours. I hate to inflict my troubles on a stranger, but if you're headed down to the beach and spot my good-for-nothing husband, tell him to get a move on with the main course. This should be enough to last us. At least not until the scaly buggers are taken care of. These days, it seems there's more pests than people living in Stilltide, what with all the hopefuls running off to Yulmore. Those flying lizards are the worst of the lot, though. You can't even leave for an honest day's work anymore without a swarm of them flapping sky demons, nipping at your heels from here to Governor's Row. And don't get me started on their leader, Jaculus we call him. With the way that vicious blighter comes after you, you'd think he bloody owns the place. Someone needs to topple that little tyrant. None of us fancy losing a finger, but maybe you're up to the challenge. If you're keen to draw him out, just skewer a couple of his broodmates. That'll get his attention soon enough. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Oh, that sigh wasn't for you. I was just thinking about a friend. The damn fool got tired of the hard life, you see, and tried to set sail for mainland in our little fishing boat. Said he'd come back and fetch me after he'd found his fortune. His body washed up on the beach yesterday. I wonder if his last thoughts were for his home or the shores of the land he never reached. Actually, sir, if you've not better to do than listen to me sob, I'd appreciate a hand collecting his belongings. They're scattered along the sands, but I don't know that I'll find them all before the waves steal them out to sea. Ba 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 ba. Did you find anything? Aye, these are his things, alright. We made this rod ourselves, me and him. I lost count of the number of times we slipped away to go fishing instead of grubbing about in the fields. So we should have known better than to try crossing those choppy waters in that tiny boat. I told him, wicked white, how many times I told him. And then the divine swallowed him up and spat him out. You damned fool. I suppose I better bury these bits and pieces with him when I get back to work. Thank you for your kindness, stranger. It seems like there's fewer side quests this time around, which I am absolutely fine with. Who are you? What do you want with me? The wife's wondering where I am. Has it been that long? I tried to dig up one of those tide clams that she likes, a good sized one too, but a claw shot out from under the sand and almost clipped my arm off. Say, you seem the capable sort. Do you think you could lend me a hand? Oh, thank you. You should be able to find the spot I was digging not far from the water. Just watch out for those snippers. You're not missing a limb or anything, are you? No. Yes, look at the size of this thing. My wife will be well pleased. She'll be mad that I asked for your help, but it'll be worth it when she sees the prize you claimed. In fact, I'm sure she'll want to thank you in person. Let's head back to the village. I hear you slew some shelled monster what came between him and that clam. A good thing, too. If he'd stood his ground, I'd be burying whatever parts of him was left. The man has his faults, but strike me if I don't love him all the same. Now I'd best be making something to fill his belly when he comes back. A nice thick clam stew, I reckon. Ew. We got the bitey little bastard then. Shadows be praised. Now maybe we can work the fields in peace. If you hadn't done the deed, I was afraid we'd start running out of food. I have no wish to watch anyone starve to death. I know I could move to Gate Town and live on handfuls of mull like the rest of them, but we have our pride. If there's any choice in the matter, we'd rather take care of our own needs while we can, with a little help from the battle-stabbing travelers such as yourself, of course. Well, don't starve to death! That seems a bit stupid. Starving to death, just because you don't want to go to another town. Boop. Kalusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in this distant world, people are much the same. To think that whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. Sin Eater? What's that doing here? Poor heart. Thank you, young sir. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Are you all right, madam? Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let it stop me. I should probably leave my own house behind and queue up outside Yulmar with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate is to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's tasks any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now I'm sure a strapping lad like you has little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There is naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. 'Tis as the lady says, many of these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmar's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Oh, have you been told? Okay. Ah yes, Alize would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared to Amarang, Kalusia is almost a haven, but as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived but a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim. Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. Alright, thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow.